It might not be as simple as I put it in the thumbnail, but that's how it's feeling. I'm sure since you've clicked on this video, you most likely have also noticed the pattern that every game that's been announced is going through, and any game that has broken out of this cycle has either been complete dog shit or just fell off because they didn't want to update it no more. But that's enough spoiling. I'm gonna just get into the video right now. Let's start with stage 1. Within stage 1, this is where I believe 99% of games get to, is the creation stage. I feel like this is like the hardest one to mess up. You know, you got the ideas, you're getting some devs if you're trying to make it like a big project. Everything's smooth, no issues here, you can't mess this up. However, the part that really pisses me off right here is what happens in stage 2. In stage 2, we have advertising / promotion of the game. Now, this is the part where I feel like a lot of people, especially viewers, get really annoyed because the games that get promoted and advertised are nowhere near ready for release, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm also guilty of this, okay? Look, hey, I'm desperate too. Just know any game you see in this stage, don't trust the following YouTubers: Revolver Ags, nah, I'm playing. Guys, the golden age of Roblox, I can't do it. How do you do a British accent? That's like stage 3. Early access game passes / testing being sold. If I were to assume, just about 55% of games start doing this nowadays. Some would most likely announce a release date prior to this and then just dish out early access game passes. It's just the easiest way to cash out on a shitty game. And yes, there are some good games that sell testing or promote better testing chances with subscriptions, Relsies, but even then, it's still stupid. Why are you paying to do a job that makes no sense? It doesn't make sense to me. And even now, I predicted this would happen. Games are beginning to exit scam by doing this. For example, Sorcery and many other games are going to continue using this to exit scam people, and people will continue to fall for it. Yo, this platform is like actually fried. Now, before I get to stage 4, I actually have a sub stage, which is basically the rest of the percentage from stage 3. Most of these games get discontinued outright. It's either radio silence or an announcement that the game has been given up on. Most of the time it's radio silence. And I just really want to talk about this because I feel like communication is one of the most important things you could have, especially as an indie gaming studio or an indie game dev or whatever you are. If you are one of the few devs that are selling a product like testing for your game and you just out of nowhere discontinue it and just drag people on saying, oh, we're still working on it, but you're not. I want to mention this game called Star Strikers. It was a Blue Lock game that was going to come out during the initial release of the anime, and it had a lot of promise. It was a good looking game. But soon after the Blue Lock hype began to die down, the devs basically disappeared and left the mods to do the PR work saying, oh, they're still working on it. Good games take time. Bro, it's been 2 years. I don't understand. It pisses me off because you have people paying you money. It's just weird as f. And then similar devs to this, people would continue to support them.
I wish some of y'all would put a blindfold on and walk out in the middle of the street. You're no good to nobody. You're useless.
Now on stage 4, I believe 30% of games get to this point where we get a real release date. Even at this point, it's still debatable whether or not a game will actually release or not. Matter of fact, I got a bone to pick with Beyond That. I've been waiting on this game since 2021. But just think about that for a second. Game got delayed at first because it wasn't ready. Fair. So why the f are we delaying a movie, which is just a fat trailer for the game, for over a year? What are we doing? What's the plan here? I'm genuinely asking, what is the plan? I've been getting pings from this server for the last year. All right, besides the point, let's say the game's actually released. See, I still can't believe that's an actual thing nowadays. If the game actually releases, they'll receive a huge spike of players because everybody's desperate. They want to play something. Here's the problem though. 77% of games get into a 2-week phase. This is where the game is fresh and everybody's trying to play the game, but after 2 weeks it falls off and is nearly forgotten. The most recent case of this is a game called Ninja Time. It was this paid access Naruto game that finally went public. Game was actually like hot garbage, but that's besides the point. Some people, mostly kids, were enjoying this game a lot for 2 weeks, and nowadays the game is averaging like 800 to 1,000 players, which is all right. However, there's just about 22% of games that actually manage to stay alive. A good example I'd say would be RuneSlayer. Yeah, the game was averaging 40,000 on release and then dropped to like 15,000 concurrent, but that's still good. Like 15,000, 20,000, that's still really good. And it should tell you that good games that are actually fun can actually stay afloat. Or you could be a Souls RNG clone like Hunters.
I'm not upset with y'all because I know you're mentally ill.
I don't want a Grammy, tell Noah where's my interview, so he can tell me all about the shit I didn't do. Memory, lane driving, hands at the 10 and 2, 9 to 5, can't even peripheral to vision 2.
Bye, have a beautiful time.